This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesianicristo.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to New Jersey Satellite Studio, where we show you the flavor of life here in the District of New Jersey.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to INCRadio Satellite Studios, where we show you the flavor of life. And today, the flavor of life is going to be about Philadelphia cheesesteaks. This is our iconic food that we're going to be hosting today. And I just want to say, hey, my name is Sister Naima, and welcome.
All right, thanks, Naima. And, I love the fact that we have legitimate Philly people, because I was actually worried that I would have to be, talk on the show and we wouldn't have anyone really from Philly and be like, hey, I'm from New Jersey, so we're I'm not even in the southern part of Jersey. I'm from the northern. But as Naima said, we are excited to talk about the iconic Philly cheesesteak. There's no other sandwich like it anywhere else. So, it's so awesome. And not only do we have Naeem on, we also have Karen on. Mama Kay is also from Philly. So we are joined by some real legitimate Philly people. We love it. And we also love it when our viewers and listeners, you join us for this. And okay, we're gonna make you hungry. Okay, check this out. Okay, I brought one. And just for facts, this is not a legitimate Philly cheesesteak. This is not from Philly. This is a Northern Jersey cheesesteak, but it's still really good. Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Bobo. Appreciate it.
All right, Jeff. Well, since you showed yours, here's one. I don't know if you can see it. There's jalapeno peppers. Can you see? Jalapeno peppers. You can smell it. This is not my cheesesteak. This is Philip's cheesesteak. My cheesesteak's a bit more boring, and it's this one. So this is just cheese and onions and pickles. So something new. I've never tried with pickles, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and joining us today also is
Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm doing great today. How's everyone today? Yes, we'll be talking about cheesesteaks, and I'll give my point of view from Philadelphia side.
I feel like Mama Kay already graded my cheesesteak. Like I could see she was like, that's not a real cheesesteak. Yeah. I'm hoping this is the real bun. I know.
The most important thing is that you're enjoying it. That's the most important thing.
And to our viewers and listeners, we hope that you are not only enjoying the show, but maybe have yourself a cheesesteak too. All right, before we get started with our discussion, I think we have some pictures to get everyone's appetite wet and also to kickstart a discussion. So Kuya Tech, if you could bring those pictures up. Let's see what we got. Okay, and folks, yes, these are the iconic real deal cheesesteaks. Thanks again to Grace and Ava Evangelista for sending us your photos. I don't know where these are from. Mama Kay, Naima?
Is that Cheese Whiz?
That's Cheese Whiz, I think. Yeah.
Oh. This is like that analysis from the native Philadelphians who know.
The cheesesteak connoisseurs. Yeah. So, well, while we're looking at it, Mama Kay, Naima, let us know what your thoughts of are. And I think these are the legitimate ones from legitimate Philly. Once again, Bob, not to say anything, but, we are from the north.
Are those peppers and onions? I can't really tell. It's all covered in cheese whiz.
Looks like onions are in there.
Yeah, fried onions.
Yeah, and I would say cheese whiz, but
yeah, okay. Not promoting the brand, but that's what they use in the cheesesteak.
And that's something that we're gonna have to talk about very shortly. The thing about cheese. Like, let's not go too far in. So if we can get the
Okay.
next picture, yeah. Okay, that is a almost like a bird's eye shot. Okay, a
And
little
then
bit of an angle. Yeah,
there's also cheese fries. So do you have to have cheese fries? I guess we'll talk about that too. What kind of fries should go with your cheesesteak?
right. Or should you put your fries inside? That might be controversial.
No, no, you shouldn't put your fries inside.
Okay, next picture. Let's see. Okay, that
Ooh,
is also
mushrooms, my favorites.
yes.
Yeah, that's a lot of mushrooms, though, I gotta say. Maybe that's too many mushrooms. I don't know. What do you think, Mama Kay?
Well, I had a
Uh,
I had a friend who only ate, like, she would get mushroom cheesesteak. No steak in it, just the mushrooms.
Oh, so it's a veggie version, and that's
Oh,
the cheese there. Would you say is that American cheese?
No, that looks like cheese whiz also.
Really? It
Yeah,
Yeah.
looks
this is like
like neither.
cheese whiz or cheese sauce or something.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
onions.
see, folks, you can tell that Mama Kay and Naim are like the real deal connoisseurs about this. They know. I can't.
When
I mean,
in my cheese eating life, I used to eat when I was eating cheesesteaks, but as you get older, things change. So yeah, I can remember.
Okay, all right.
Me,
okay, if we
me
can
as
go to the next.
well. Me as well. I don't eat cheesesteaks anymore. I'll eat a chicken cheesesteak, but I guess it's growing up in Philly and eating them all the time. At
Yeah,
some point, you know,
I totally
maybe,
agree, Sister Karen.
maybe we've eaten too many.
Yes, too many.
If we can go to the next picture, Koitek. Let's see what we got.
Mm.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
Now,
is
folks,
that a cheesesteak?
this and this is from Grace and Abe. Once again, thanks, Grace and Abe. And actually say hi to Grace and Abe in the live chat. Also, Maricel's in there too. Now, this one
Yeah.
is a pizza cheesesteak.
I don't
Pizza cheesesteak.
understand.
Yeah, yeah. As a matter of fact, I think Abe is given some dropping some knowledge in our live chat. So say hi to him and find out. So, um, yeah, that is a pizza cheesesteak. I believe it has pizza sauce in there, also some other cheese. But
Yes,
yeah,
that's what makes it the pizza cheesesteak, the pizza sauce in it.
So they just added like marinara sauce
Yeah.
or whatever the sauce is. Is that I don't know how I would eat this.
I can't say that I've had one of those. I can't say that I've
I've
had one of
never,
those.
I'm not
Very
even.
unique.
Yeah, I don't understand how you eat this then. The same way you eat any kind of hoagie, just like chomping away
yeah, right. Like
Yes, you'll eat it the same way. It's just,
a bit.
I mean, me myself, I've never had it either. I
Yeah.
mean, these days they're making cheesesteaks so many different ways, and
Yeah.
I haven't
mm.
tried all of them.
Oh, and Abe is chiming. He says pizza steak is cheese steak with marinara and maybe the Italian spices. So that sounds really good.
Oh, okay. That
Uh,
makes sense.
I'm starting to drool. I don't know. Look. Okay, what do we got?
Oh,
What else do we got, Koyatek? Okay, now this is from my cousin all the way. I believe he's in Arizona or Cali. I think it's Arizona. Now this is a different take on it. Now once again, he's on the western side of the country, so they have bulgogi cheesesteaks. Now it is a cheesesteak, but it's made with bulgogi, so Korean barbecue bulgogi, and with mozzarella cheese on top. Now there used to be a place here in the north that did it. Unfortunately, they closed. They closed during pandemic, but that was one of the amazing sandwiches in northern Jersey. But he had it over in I think that's in Arizona at a food fair. So yeah,
Is that
the
a
cheesesteak.
is that a sourdough bread?
I don't know. We should
Giant
ask him.
slice of bread. That's what that
Yeah,
is. That's one big slice. That's a giant slice of bread. Okay.
right. Yeah. So the cheesesteak is changing, adapting with time, but you can't beat the original. Although that looks pretty good. Okay, and I think Kuitek, we'll save the last picture for. Actually, no, I think we have one more
Done.
that we can show now. And there you go. Kui Abe, love you so much, bro. And looks like you're loving your cheesesteak. And I think All right, if you can let us know what that is. It looks like it's either an open faced cheesesteak or
It's a
it's
pot
cheesesteak
of
fries or something.
cheesesteak.
Yeah.
I think it's a cheesesteak it's a cheesesteak on fries.
Is it fried?
Yeah, there's French fries is underneath. It looks like it.
Oh,
Or is it a cheesesteak dip?
Oh,
Could
it sounds
be a
so
dip.
good.
How do you dip?
I don't know. They
What
make
do you do?
What do
You
you got,
have-
like a roll of bread and just like scoop it up like a
no,
shovel?
you get
That's
your
not a-
you get your
that's not a
chips.
dip, Mama
Yeah,
Kay.
you
That's
get
a
your
shovel.
Dorito chips and dip it in and scoop
Oh,
it up.
like any kind of chip, even if it's like a tortilla, you just
Dip it up. Yep.
that has to be a strong chip because this steak looks serious.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
seriously
That's
heavy.
yeah.
Looks like
All right.
cheese whiz too on there as well.
It looks like pieces of American cheese, no? Like little tiny squares melted. Maybe it's just me. Maybe Abe and Grace can tell us in the
Oh, and they are confirming that those are cheesesteak fries.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Nice.
see the fries underneath.
I mean, and that's how you know it's good because the cheesesteak is just covering the fries. You don't even see the fries.
yeah,
At
I
all.
don't see the fries.
Yeah.
I just
Fries are gone.
All right. I think let's save the last picture for in the middle of our questions, Kuyatek. So yeah. All right. So we got to turn over to you. Actually, Leia, I think you're asking the next
yeah.
question.
So let's learn more about Philly cheesesteaks from our natives. We're gonna start off with Mama Kay and then Naima. But the question is, what is a Philly cheesesteak and what makes it different from any other sandwich? I know both of you might have the same answer, but yeah, well, if it's the same, it's the same. So, Mama Kay, what is a Philly cheesesteak and why is it different from another sandwich?
Well, a Philly cheesesteak, it's called a Philly cheesesteak because it originated in Philadelphia. What makes it different from any other sandwich is you're now putting steak on a roll with any kind of topping, different toppings. As we saw, mushrooms, you can have onions with or without cheese, you can have it any way you want it. And it's hot. It's, you can even toast your bread. But the softer the bread, the better the cheesesteak is. What makes it different that's what makes it different from any other sandwich because it's hot and with the cheese and the steak, nice and tender, it just melts in your mouth.
So the bread is supposed to be soft. So if it's softer, then it's better. Wait, I know Naima also brought her cheesesteak, but Naima, what's your take on this?
This is not an official Philly cheesesteak, but it's a cheesesteak.
But what goes in your cheesesteak?
So
what do you have there? Can you show us again?
Oh, okay. So unfortunately, I don't eat cheese anymore. But when I used to eat cheese, I would do a chicken cheesesteak. Because cheesesteaks actually can, there's a variety of meat that you can use. Chicken cheesesteak and beef cheesesteak are the popular ones. It has to be on an Amoroso roll. Not, it's a brand, but we are not promoting. But that's a Philly staple. American cheese, white American cheese. Some people do yellow cheese, but white American cheese, fried onions, salt, pepper, ketchup.
Okay, let's talk about the
mayo.
Wait, let's talk about the onions. So are the onions supposed to be diced or is it supposed to just be like any old way?
Well, they kind of like, they fry them on the grill. And then they as they're chopping up the steak, they get chopped up in the steak. So it's not like you have to cut them and then they're actually on the grill.
So
already.
it's combined. So
Yes.
the beef part or the chicken part is combined. I see.
And and it's getting more seasoned because you're chopping the onions right up with the steak.
So I have onions here, but so I don't think this is definitely not a liquid cheesesteak. You're right, Mama Kay. We talked about this before the show started. My onions are not mixed in with the meat, so disappointing. Still delicious, but disappointing.
Yeah, you got to chop it all up, and the cheese goes on the bottom. Sometimes they put the cheese on the actual meat too, so they chop it in the meat. So the cheese is in the meat. Not some people put it on the roll; it's actually in the meat, and then they scoop it into the roll,
Yeah.
And then they put the toppings on it.
Okay, so
I like the way they have it cooking on the grill
Yeah.
with everything. Once everything's done, they lay the cheese on top, let it melt a little bit, then put the roll on top and flip it over.
That's
the
right.
best time.
That's
Hey,
right.
well, when do they put on the Naima? You said you like mayo, lettuce. So when do they put up? What are they supposed to put on the toppings?
So the mayo is already on the roll.
Okay.
So when you put the meat on it, it's already on there. So it like kind of mix in there. And if you want lettuce and tomato, usually sometimes they put it on top. Some people want it before they flip it. It's like, whatever you want to do, depending on where you get it from. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
On top.
All right. So that's your favorite cheesesteak. And that's also what you have right there, minus the cheese, which is fine. As long as you, as Mama Kay said earlier, as long as you're enjoying it, doesn't matter.
My favorite is mine's a little different. I like mustard on mine. I like, of course, mayo. I like mustard, mayo, salt, pepper, fried onions. As many fried onions as you can put on there. I want a lot. And I don't really like ketchup. So mustard is my go-to. And pickle, I like pickles on the side. I like that little tangy on the side. I don't know. I'm a little different.
So no peppers for you and no mushrooms.
Yeah, no pepper. It depends on how I feel if I want to try mushrooms, but not traditional. If I want a traditional cheesesteak, no mushrooms.
You don't want that lingering mushroom flavor. What about you, Mama Kay? What's your favorite cheesesteak?
I like mayo, a little ketchup, but I'm particular about my ketchup that I use. So, but I like mayo, ketchup, and fried onions, definitely, and peppers. I like hot peppers on mine to kind of spice it up a little bit, but I don't add salt to my food at all. I just tell them black pepper and hot peppers and sweet peppers.
I'm the same. That's already salty. You got so much cheese on it. Like if you
Exactly.
that's a lot of cheese. And so
white American cheese.
White.
Yes.
Light or white?
White American cheese. That's the best.
This is something that we need to clear up because growing up, as far as I knew, it was always the cheese whiz that would go on in the cheesesteak. But we're getting the real deal here, folks.
Yeah.
Okay, we got some native Philadelphians, saying that it's white American cheese. Mama Kay, Naima, can you talk about that?
The cheese is just, I don't know. It's just, it tastes better. I don't know and it looks better actually too. But the American cheese is a staple. It tastes better, looks better. I don't know. How about you, Sister Karen? What you think?
Cheese whiz to me is more like a spread, and it's too runny. It makes the sandwich messy. If you want sloppy Joe, it might be okay, but no, not on a cheesesteak, because you want your sandwich neat, not falling all apart. If it's falling apart at the other end while you're eating, that's fine, but you don't want cheese just dripping everywhere. So I go for the American cheese.
Yeah, this is a messy sandwich.
As long as you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
So those who come, like the tourists, those who come visiting from out of town, right. They're staple places where they go for the cheesesteak. But then I say, when you come back again, if you got family and friends, go to the neighborhood stores. That's where the best ones are. Yeah. I grew up in West Philadelphia. Now I live in Northeast Philadelphia. West Philly, we had some great places out there. Here in the Northeast, we have even greater places out here. So, it depends on, I believe, Sister Naima, did you grow up in South Philly?
I grew up in South Philly. So South Philly is known. They are the foundation. The cheesesteaks, they are the foundation. I just got to keep it real with you. And but again, there are some other places as well that have make really great cheesesteaks too. But South Philly is like the staple. They say North Philly too. North Philly as well. Really,
but South Philly is where the cheesesteaks originated from.
Yes.
So yes, I would assume they do have. But originally it started with what's that, ribeye steak? Mm-hmm. I don't know if everyone's still using ribeye steaks, but originally it started with they were using ribeye, like very thin slices of ribeye steak.
That's interesting. Ribeye steaks are expensive.
Yes. And that's probably why everyone don't use ribeye steak, because it's expensive. So
that's the authentic. So it should be a ribeye steak that's finely sliced and chopped up. That's the original. And now I'm learning South Philly is the capital of the cheesesteak. Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Wow.
So that's why if you're in South Philly, you got a cheesesteak, you got the real deal. All right.
Yeah.
That's
And as a matter of fact, I think we have to go into it, especially since we're kind of close to time. Leia, as we talked about it before, you had an experience. Everyone,
Oh.
there is a process. There's a way that you order your cheesesteak. Now, Leia, if you can tell us about your experience, and then Naeem and Karen, if we can talk about the right way to do it.
okay. So a bunch of friends and I, after an activity, we're in Philly, and we're like, oh, let's stop by one of the famous cheesesteak places, and we're all online. And I got up there, and I never had a Philly cheesesteak. I had a lot of questions, and the guy was just heckling me, like, "How do you not know what kind?" I was like, "Well, what about what kind of cheese?" He's like, "What do you mean, what kind of cheese? It's on the there. You when you get online, apparently you're supposed to already know your order, what kind of cheese, if you want American cheese whiz, and you have to know your toppings." Immediately, there's like no room for questions, which is very, I don't know if that was like a gimmick, but I was kind of intimidated. And so I wish I had listened to the people in front of me. And I was like, this is my first time here. He's like, obviously it's your first time. I was like, is this like the personality of the store? Because I don't want to come back here.
Oh.
But maybe that's what it was. And maybe because the line was so long, because there were so many of us. They're just like, let's get this moving. But I mean, I enjoyed it. I wish I had had a bib. I ordered with cheese was because I thought that's how you're supposed to order it, and I did not enjoy it as much. But the next few times, the other few stores that we got, I made sure to order American cheese. So yeah, I don't want anything running along my lap.
Yeah, same.
But the thing is, Leia, is when, like you said, the line was long. You had hungry people itching to
Wait,
try
it was
these
our group
cheesesteaks.
though, and I feel like I wasn't the only one with the questions. But after I went through that, and the people behind me heard, they're like, "Oh, let me get it together, and
Yeah,
let me
you
just."
have to get it together while you're in the back of the line. Get it together. Know what you want.
Yeah.
Know how you like your
I'm from
cheesesteak.
Northern New Jersey. We can ask questions here, and we won't get heckled. Well, okay, that I take that back. If you're in New York City, it depends. But in Northern New Jersey, where I live, people are just like, "Oh, you got questions? Okay," and then they answer your questions. But this
Well,
guy,
you can ask people, the people in the line, ask them questions. Don't
Yeah.
ask the
I didn't
person
know
behind
that.
you.
I mean, we were all tourists, so
Yeah,
that's
the
why
experience.
Could you
it
ever see the grill? They have so many cheesesteaks going on.
Yeah.
They
was
don't have
all our
time for too
friends.
many questions.
Mama Kay, and he was laughing while he was doing it. So I think he was just messing with me.
As a matter of fact, Queetek, I think now is a good time to have that
I was
that
stressed.
picture up because there's a process. So, Naima, Mama K, if you can tell us about this ordering process, the right way to do it, so that we don't look like noobs when we're ordering our cheesesteaks.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're like tourists, Jeff.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I
All
don't.
right, Queetek, I think we got that. I think we have. There we
There
go.
it is.
So, Mama K, Karen,
Yeah.
Sister Karen, can you tell us about this?
I've never seen this before.
Oh,
This is in one of the stores that did not make it here in Philly. I seen most of them closed down, but no, I haven't really. But I mean, it do make sense though. Know what you ordering.
Yeah.
But I like how I say, or get to the back of the line and
Yeah.
start all over.
If you're a rookie.
yeah.
Oh my
I
Okay.
like
gosh.
that. But I've
This
never been
picture
in
too
that,
is.
that store to see that sign.
Oh,
I've
really?
driven
Oh.
by that store, but I've
Oh my
never been in.
goodness. That
I
is
want
hilarious.
to meet this I am hungry person who with this
Yeah.
character.
Now, this is true. See, one thing about Philadelphia, if you're not a native to Philadelphia, this is like a culture thing. Like you got to know what you're getting. And if you don't know, they will make sure that you will not forget. You will not forget the next time.
Like 20 years ago we did this, like, or 15 years ago we were at this spot. I will not forget, and this is how I know how to order my cheesesteak.
Yeah, I think they do that on purpose.
I know they want to save time, time is money, but I was like, this is not the customer service experience.
Well, you're not in Philly on the cheesesteak line.
Not in the cheesesteak line. That's correct.
Your cheesesteak line is different. It's different, Sister Kelly.
All right, you got to be ready then. Everybody, warning to all: when you go to a legit cheesesteak place in Philadelphia, you have to have your order ready.
So if
And
you're
there's-
coming to Philly, know what you want, know
Yeah.
what you're going to get on it, and ask questions way before you get to
and
it.
there's no choice of bread, okay? Like we're used to, like, oh, do you want like wheat? Do you want a wrap? Do you want to? No, there's no choice. It's just they got one bread and that's it. So don't ask. you might be able to ask them to slice it more, but they're like, you can't. No special request. This is
I think practice before you go. Practice your order. How you going?
Yeah.
How you going to say it?
just bite through. Don't ask for the cut. Just bite through, and then just you want to share with friends. Just piece it out like that, because you will not get your order. You will get yelled at.
Yeah. So I'd love to go through this further, but we are coming across time. But yeah, so it says how to order steak for our listeners who aren't viewing. You need to know if it's wit. Now, Mama K, what is wit? What does
That's
wit mean?
with. Do you want onions or cheese or without? With or without?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So I say I want a cheesesteak with. Okay, it comes with onions, and then you have to pick your cheese. And as Mama K and Naima mentioned, go for the white American cheese. Okay, not the cheese whiz. Okay, that's how they. That's how we. Oh, and unless once again, if you're enjoying it, if you prefer the cheese whiz, go for it. But if you want to have the authentic one, it's the white American cheese. And then make sure that you're ready to pay. Don't be fumbling. Okay, and then step 4, practice all the above while waiting in line, because as they mentioned, the line can be long. And if you're panicking, go back to the end of the line.
I should have done that.
Oh, see. All right, folks. Time flies when you're having fun. So I think we have to move on. So yeah, let's move on to the next section, which is our shout out. So Leigh, if you want to lead off that section, let's go.
Yeah, I don't think we have time for the bumper, but I wanted to go to Mama K first for any shout outs and then to Naima. So what do you have, Mama K?
Yes, I'd like to give a shout out to my locale, the local of Philadelphia. Brother Bernard is our resident minister and his family, and all my family and friends who are listening today.
All right. Next up, Naima, what are your shout outs?
I would like to give a shout out to all my Philadelphians who love cheesesteaks everywhere. and those who are not from Philadelphia, if you love cheesesteaks, whoop whoop to you. To shout out to my family, most especially my uncle Michael, happy birthday. And yeah, it's so good to talk about Philly always.
All right. What about you, Jeff? Any shout outs?
Okay, got a bunch coming up. So Jack Belieza, Chris Valdez, Albert Garzon, Mark Taino, and Roger Villegas, happy birthday. And then also thanks again to Grace Corto, former Philly person over in the Midwest right now. Thank you so much for the advice. And thank you also to John Velcorpus, my cousin all the way on the West Coast. And then for other people, Jordan Padaron, Bruce Peterson, Aaron Sin, Teresa Chin, and Sean Campbell for your reheating advice, because I had to have this overnight. The cheesesteak place near me only opens at 11.
I saw that and I actually followed the instructions, Jeff. The reheating. I saw your post and I followed it. Anyway, we don't have time to read everyone's comments, but we want to say hello to our live viewers who left us comments. Mario Oka, all the way from Bixinville District of Palo Oka North, Mark Robin Lucas from Doha, Qatar, Andrew Santa Monica from Seattle. We also want to say hello to brother James Timothy Malabani. He says cheesesteaks sound great for lunch. And then from Ava Van Lisa, a number of comments. Hot and sweet's the way to go. Cheesesteak, fried onions, provolone, salt, pepper, ketchup. Hello to Maricel. Oh, I don't understand about ketchup and cheesesteaks. Okay, we have a back and forth about cheesesteaks. We'll just scroll down so we can get to our next segment. I think we're ready for our next segment. So thanks for all those comments. We'll try to revisit them next week. On to Mama K for the next segment.
Okay, we're next at is hashtags. Can we have that bumper?
Now announcing our hashtag winners.
So first up, we have our honorable mention, which is Bayonne. Happy, congratulations, Bayonne, honorable mention. Third place, we have Delaware. Second place, we have Winslow. And for the first place, drum roll. Okay, still in first place, we have Aston, Pennsylvania. Congratulations, first place.
All right, sounds like Aston, you're all getting cheesesteaks with, and also with onions and American cheese. See, I know it now. We're learning a lot. Okay, for our activity updates, we don't need the bumper for this. We're also coming across time. We have tomorrow on March 30th, the CBI De-Stressed in Wrightstown at 6 p.m. So if you're feeling a little stressed out, go join them in Wrightstown, take a breather, and have some good food. Maybe bring some cheesesteaks. As usual, please check with your local congregation for details on local events and the daily Bible study schedule. And now we have our CFO in action. Action. Action.
CFO in action.
The Binhi members in the District of New Jersey Church of Christ gathered with enthusiasm and eagerness for their monthly meeting. This month's topic, Building Resilience and Confidence, resonated deeply with the young attendees. The discussion led to a deeper understanding of the importance of self-reflection, prayer, and seeking guidance from mentors and peers. The conversation also touched on the impact of social media on their lives. The meeting provided a safe space for them to discuss the truth about social media, that it often presents a curated version of reality, and true fulfillment and happiness come from a deeper connection with God, themselves, and others. With renewed conviction and a sense of community, the Binhi members left the meeting feeling empowered to build resilience and confidence in their faith and everyday lives. Led by Assistant District Minister Brother Ruben Bustos Jr., the Brethren in the District of New Jersey continue to be united in all the activities launched by the church administration. This was our CFI in action the past week. From the District of New Jersey, this is Sister Marisol Dagotot. We'll have more on the CFI in action next week. See ya!
All right, and that's it for today's show. Thank you to everyone who tuned in and learned about the famous Philly cheesesteak. If you found value in our discussion today, please like and subscribe for more content like this. And if you think this episode would be helpful to someone you know, please share the link with them.
And before we go, we'd like to thank our church administration for their continued support to INCRadio and allowing us to have this show where we can stay connected with each other and learn together and share our cheesesteaks. All right. We especially thank our beloved executive minister, Brother Eduardo Manalo, and our SEPSI president and CFO coordinator, Brother Angelo Manalo. We'd also like to thank our INCRadio station manager, Brother Wally Tarai.
And before we say goodbye, we also like to thank everyone for watching our episode today on cheesesteaks, and we'll see you next week.
This is